what is and is not an assumption can be, that's actually probably the biggest struggle that I have with anything in life is, am I basing this on fact or assumption? Because at that point, assumption is fiction.
Yes.
So what is the story that I'm telling myself, and is it a reality? And constantly having to evaluate that is probably um, my biggest struggle is being honest enough to recognize my own biases
Yes.
and understand that every once in a while they need to be challenged.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something so deep in that because it's almost asking you to be aware of your unawareness, right? It's asking you to be aware of a blind spot, see in your blind spot. And it's like almost by definition, you can't. So
Yeah.
the best you can do, arguably, is just to recognize, I know it's there somewhere. So I'm never going to allow myself to get that confident to think like that could be the thing. So let me check, let me, do the whole process. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Let me ask you this, Tyler, because I just another thing where I'm not sure how it'll land, but I always seek out opportunities for really authentic, genuine conversations with people who want to do that, because I think this is where we unlock interesting things. So I think there's an interesting mini case study, if you're cool with going there, and I am, and it's more on me than you. Interestingly, to this whole conversation, we were actually scheduled to meet on Monday originally, and I
Yes.
actually pushed you off. Well, I said I had to reschedule, and we picked a new time, right? So this is one of those moments where we could do the polite thing in society and be like, "Oh no, that's okay," and I hope you understood, and maybe that's the truth. But I am curious because it is a situation to test what we're talking about a little bit. Because for me, I had a family medical thing going on, as I let you know about, and we kind of pushed it off. And I'd like to think I did it in the right way, right? Gave you some notice as soon as I knew, apologized, all the things.
Yeah.
But even in that, there's a part of me, and I'll only speak for myself, that says, shit, was that the right thing to do? Like, could I have made it work? Should I have found a different way? Because I did make a commitment to somebody, as you were saying before. So just curious how you think about that, through the lens.
Actually, you know what? You're right. That's a beautiful, beautiful case study. And I think it'll illustrate what my values are when I honestly tell you, yes, I was okay with that. And here's why. You you said I did it right, which is interesting because there is a hidden bias there
Sure.
that you and I both agreed to, but needs to be acknowledged. And that is that there is a right way to cancel. Is there or isn't there? Because the hidden assumption there is that there was a wrong way for you to do it. Um, if you had to have canceled last minute, say an hour before as opposed to the day before,
Right.
which happened in this case. Again, to me, it would depend on why you were doing it. If it was still, my wife needs to go to the hospital,
Yep.
absolutely, I'm going to understand that. If you knew yesterday that she needed to, and then you're canceling the hour before, that would have bothered me, but I would have still been like, okay, well, legitimate.
Hmm.
The fact that the instant you did it shows a value of time. It also shows your priority, and your priorities and my priorities align. Family is important to me. If I have to do a thing for my daughter, you're damn straight I'm clearing my schedule, and I'm going to say I apologize, but I'm going to give a justification. And frankly, I don't care if you like, agree, or don't with my justification.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to give it to you. But again, that's a me thing, not a you thing,
Mm.
right? I am justifying it for me, not for you. Anytime you see somebody say, I have to change what we have initially agreed to because of, that justification is not for your benefit.
Mm.
That justification is for their benefit so that they can feel good about going back
The
on the
integrity
board.
check. Like, am I
Integrity
okay
check.
in doing this? Yeah.
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 And so it's always on the party,
Yep.
but again, I could check my hierarchy of values and my current set of priorities and see that mine align with yours in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go, absolutely, because for me, family comes first. Above any vocational need, I value, family first.
Mm.
And sometimes, again, this is where that if then else statement comes in. Sometimes I need to deprioritize family time for a vocational purpose because it will ultimately benefit the family more, right? And so that's where those priorities list. But for you and me, um, particularly again, given that I knew what my week was looking like Monday and Tuesday, you telling me, hey, I might need to shuffle this thing goes great. Now I have this break on Monday that I can do some other things with. You definitely gave me enough lead time, and your rationale for why we needed to reschedule was well within my value set and well within my priority list. So I went, oh, of
Mm.
course, Terry, let's reschedule. Here's my link. Find a thing that works for you. And that's the other thing. I then, you asked when's a good time for me. I gave you a link that then opens up this thing. So I have now said these are the times that are available to you for you to then reschedule with me. That was on me
Now it's
now
flipped.
that this time happens to be inconvenient
Yeah.
because of other things that I've overcommitted to. I can't then turn around and cancel on you. That's an integrity value on me because I told you these times work.